So, thank you so much, Kenneth, for joining me. It's been a really dope experience, like hanging around you and getting to know you on a professional level. But I want to get to know you a little bit more. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Do a small introduction for me?
Definitely, definitely. For starters, would you want me to have my video on, or is it okay for just
Um,
voice?
you can, it's either or according to your preference.
Okay, so usually I'm looking a little more cleaner. I look like a real entrepreneur right now, so we only showing the pretty side. So
I get it. You got to get up and go. I get it.
we always showing the pretty side. So I guess we can show them the ugly sides. Hold on. Oh wait, zoom camera. That's for too much anyway. So don't worry. So for starters, guys, my name is Kenneth Ruche. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I'm 32 years old right now. I graduated from Jenkins High School, and literally everything I just named is the reason why I got into entrepreneurship.
Mm.
So I came up while I was growing up with a really great face card already. And I always wondered, I was like, how will I ever use my face card to my advantage? I always felt like, I was just cool, but never knew how to monetize on just being cool. So I actually, the way Winging even started is actually a whole process. So I can go through the whole thing with you. So we actually started through a company called Viva Connections. So Viva Connections was my marketing company. And I basically was trying to teach business owners and different groups of how to market better by using social media, because I believed in social media like 4 or 5 years ago as being one of the number one marketing tools. And, I was just really trying to harp on it. And, I knew I had a lot of sauce that could help out some business owners, just from my experience in management. And I've been in management and retail and just about every industry for about 15 years. I got into management like when I was 18. So yeah, I have been doing it like literally my whole life. So I knew processes, structures, SOPs, so I just knew, sometimes in entrepreneurship, a lot of entrepreneurs were not really skilled or went to school or did anything in the field they used to be an entrepreneur in, because they're usually the ones that's just taking the leap of faith just to start something. So long story short was I never could get a serious client. Like I literally couldn't get anybody to take us serious. So I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. So we were just sitting at the table literally last week. Actually, this Sunday supper marked 1 year, where we were
No.
sitting at the table where I was just like, you know what, man, enough is enough, man. I'm tired of like not getting clients, man. I know we got good media outlets that people can use, but nobody's taking us serious. Nobody's wanting to sign a contract. I was like, how about this, guys? How about we start our own business? So actually the name Winging It, that's actually our marketing, like kind of play on words. Like we really was like just poking fun at business when we said Winging It. So Winging It actually was just whatever we would have did, that would have been the name for if I
Yeah.
was selling t-shirts, like
Yeah.
so we got into the food side because wings are my favorite food. So what I really pushed for when we started Winging It was I wanted to have a space where we could do premium wings and not just everyday wings. Like
Mm.
I knew I like wings, and like with everything I do, I always try to see like how can I like upgrade my life, or how could I just make it better. So I always said, when we came into the wing game, I wanted to just think about everybody's pain in wings. So you'll probably know a couple of them. Small wings for starters,
Mhm.
basic flavors, uh, only just Kraft Ranch, some crinkle fries. I thought about all everybody's pain points in the everyday life that we already that we experience with wings. And I said I want to make everybody's relationship with wings just an upgraded version of what they already thought they loved about it. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where it went from. So any business that I ever wanted to do, I always believe in premium markets. So we'll get into detail about that too. But yeah, so we went from premium wings to I wanted to have a space also where vegans could live, because I'm like super like I've always noticed that I kind of been like hip to trends like for a while. Like I noticed the last one that I actually put my mind on, like I was doing like the satchel bags that guys wear now, like the little bags, like the chest bags and all that. I was doing that like 3 or 4 years ago, and girls used to literally give me
Yeah.
hell for it. I'm talking about like, I mean,
Until
every
they
name you can
realize they
name.
overseas, that's how they dress.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you can even think about every name they named me being in Savannah, Georgia. I mean, and I'm talking about females I had dealt with, and I was like, oh, you give
Yeah.
me a different vibe right now. So I'm like, man, what? So, and I come back, and now today you'll see like the hood dude with it on. I'm like, what? Like, what? So I stopped
Money how to
questioning
table
like
turn.
I stopped questioning my outlook on life, and I just started realizing, some stuff like I would just be hip to first. So the vegan community, I was really hip to it. And again, like I said, I just believe in premium markets. So I love a market where it's so new to where you can almost make up your own price. So I really just got into the vegan market, honestly, based off of straight up business. And then my cousin, she actually started a company called Herbdemic, and she was doing a year fast where every day she ate vegan options. So I kind of like started hanging out with her and eating some of the vegan options, and I actually started growing fond of them myself. So we turned around and we started actually doing the actual vegan options as just like one of those things to just be an added addition. And then I started thinking about the experience of food. When a vegan option person and a meat eating person always, when they go out to eat, it's usually not a mutual space they can go. It's either like the vegan option has to get like whatever basic vegetables that the meat eater place has, or the meat eater has to like go like super cold turkey vegan, like all the way vegan. So I wanted to find a fused mutual spot where both can be celebrated in the same room and in a space they can share food. Like that was always my goal. I wanted a meat eater and a vegan to be able to share like an appetizer or some type of meal together. So that's kind of where we got the fusion from that. And then I just really went into just me personally. I don't fight markets, like, and that's one of the things that you'll hear me talking about even when we're around each other. Like, don't fight the market. So I never said I said always I wasn't going to come on the market and create like some crazy baked ziti that nobody's ever heard of, or like this amazing super taco roll. Like, like I was like, I want to go for exactly what I already know people love. I
Yeah.
know people love wings. I know people love shrimp. I
Yeah.
know people love fish. I know people love fries. I know people love dipping sauces. Like, so it's just like I just say, you know what, we're gonna ride the market and feed the market instead of trying to fight the market and create like a new market. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of how Winging It got started.
You know what I find that's really dope that you said, like, even with me and being new and starting out, a lot of people that I follow or a lot of influential people that tell you how to get into the algorithm and all this stuff, you're telling me the total opposite from what they're saying. Which has
Love it.
really been wrecking my brain because I'm not the go with the flow type person. I'm not a stick to the rules. So me trying to post so I can stay in the algorithm or me trying to promote, none of that stuff has been working. I
None
mean,
of it,
it's been
right?
working, but not for me. Like, not for me to be the best version of me. It's not working.
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes I was just looking on Facebook just now. I saw somebody looking for a coach and a business coach. And I
Mhm.
always say with mentorship, I always give this example. A football coach can't coach a golfer, you
Yeah.
know? So sometimes what a football coach would give in drive and passion, a golfer coach would give that drive and passion in a different light. I mean, still some of the same messages, but you
Mhm.
have to be focused on, it has to be a focus of what you're actually trying to do. So, I mean, definitely, I agree. I personally, one of the things I found out with business that I've been learning is, and I'm telling you, like, this is stuff I like live by like all day, is literally committing first and find out the details later.
Mm.
And then another one is getting 20 people to tell me no a day. Like, that is literally my life goal. Like, that's
And every
literally,
time you say something about that, I'm like, yeah, I get you, Kenneth, but that rejection, I'm not really there yet.
okay, so how about this? Don't look at it from a rejection standpoint. Look at it from, sometimes a no is sometimes a not right now.
Right.
And then another situation is, sometimes you have to realize that sometimes in that space, you're not looking to sell just that very moment in time. What I've learned is, when I'm searching for those no's, I'm developing my pitch so dope. I'm finding so many other outlets and ways of positioning my words, and like I'm learning my body language with it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that, all that repetition, I promise you, it literally pays off. I mean, it literally shows. I mean, and I mean, truth be told, the other side of it is, the other part of business is having a product that you believe in and that you're gonna stand on, and that actually is a good product. So I
Yeah.
would say definitely that rejection is one thing, but just remember how many more people are in this world. And I always say, another one I always give that people can relate to, I call it the thirsty guy in the DM. So let's just say this guy sends 3 to 5 messages to some baddies. I'm talking about baddies.
Yeah.
Odds are, if he's just a regular thirsty guy in a DM, he's not going to get a response. But if this guy sends this same message and this strategy for 50 to 100 to 500 baddies, his chances naturally grow.
Right.
And
Right.
his options and his market and everything automatically just grows. So I want you to look at it from that standpoint instead of the fear standpoint. You're only just growing your opportunity. I always tell people, make more offers. When you want to make more money, make more offers. When you want to grow in business, make more offers, make more offers. So trust me, make more offers.
So what made you get interested in pop-up specifically?
So pop-up. So really, I would say, with the food market and just Savannah per se, it's really hard to break through in the food industry without having money already.
Mm.
So one of the things that I just learned in the space of when the pandemic came was, pop-up shops were really a popular thing in Atlanta, for the past couple of years already. And I had already just been admiring just, what they've done. So I just used to start doing my research, and I just noticed that, that was a way that we could actually, get our business out there and not have to have a building per se. So I originally started off just from like a pop-up store, like, or a pop-up like event style. And then I kind of like created like a whole different beast around it. So originally it was based off of just, getting the access of getting people out there. But then I learned, like, in this market of Savannah, people like missing things.
Yeah.
Like, people in Savannah like to be left out of something, to have missed it, to know about it next time at least.
Yeah.
But they like to miss stuff, and they like to, like, and it's super trendy. So I said, you know what? What I don't want to be is that restaurant or that person that starts a business and they post it a lot, and everybody's loving it at first, and then all the momentum just dies. Like, I said, I never wanted to be that person. So I just started learning. With me, it was actually a double-edged sword, because at first I was doing it simply because that was the only space I could be in. And then I started just doing it because I learned that, along the way, like, it'll make people, it'll force people into a space of like, oh, I got to try to catch him. And my whole goal was always to make a market that people wanted to buy it. I don't ever want to feel like I'm selling somebody. I always create a scenario to make people want to buy. Like, have you ever even seen me like pushing trying to sell something, unless
Yeah.
it's like
I
me
not
randomly on the
pushing
side
to
of the
sell
street?
it,
Like,
but watching you sell stuff is pretty dope. It's admirable. It really
yeah,
is.
so I appreciate it, man. And that all comes from literally getting told no and just keep working on the product, working on the craft, working on being able to add more value to people. Because I just said, you know, people only spend money on things that they feel is more valuable than the money that they're spending. That's
Yeah.
just literally human nature, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I always try to do. I try to over deliver in value. Anytime you hear me selling, it's usually going to be a funnel. Usually it's going to be a hey, try this into buying this, or, you know, it's going to usually be along that lines because I trust in people that much. I don't trust in money that much, you know, but I really do trust in people. So yeah. So pop-ups, just to kind of round back off to the pop-up scenario, it was really based off of just knowing people's psyche and just understanding people. People like to be intrigued. People like to miss things. People like to not exactly know every detail. Like people like still excitement in life, and you know that's kind of what we offer in our pop-up scenario because people never know where we're going to be the next week. You know, people don't. It's
Right.
not a consistent spot. You have to look at the post. You have to keep up with it. You
Literally
know.
be searching.
Yeah, and you have to
I
be
think that's
invested.
dope though.
I
I
mean, it was scary at first. I'll tell you that much. Because trust me, it was hard. You know, just creating a market and having only like 2 or 3 people over there and like literally like denying people saying, well, hey, if you don't want to get with what I'm doing, hey, it might not be for you. Like,
yeah.
but just really believing in myself, knowing that I had a product that can draw people, you know, that is really where the pop-up side came from.
Wow. That's dope. Like, I know you kind of said how you got started, but like, what was your, I know you saw the need for a really good wing spot, but besides like seeing the need, what really made you want to get started?
Um, I guess outside of seeing the need, I guess we can go into a more personal standpoint. I guess we'll say what made me really just really go into full-time entrepreneurship. I think that can wrap all in the same space. And I think what it was is outside of just seeing the market for us not really having that many go-to wing spots, I just had gotten tapped out of just being in management.
Mm,
And it's weird when I talk to a lot of people about entrepreneurship because they'll hit me with like a space where like almost like I don't understand like the work like force. And I'm just like, do you know me, dude? Like, dude, I'm like everything I've been everything you're still trying to accomplish. Like, and like not even trying to flex, like you know, I've been in management positions, GM position, regional manager positions. You know, I've trained hundreds of thousands of employees. Like I've trained managers, I've trained GMs, I've trained owners. Like you know, I've opened up probably like 5 different industries before from a fresh start of the business. Like so. I tell people all the time, like, you know, I came up as a worker bee. I got my first job when I was 9. I got my first legit job when I was 15 with a work permit. Like I literally came up in the workforce, and I got to a space where I just knew that I kept having a ceiling on my greatness. You know, I kept noticing I'll go to a different company, and after me being there for a year, their numbers go from red to green, and all this extra profit, and the numbers from last year compared to this year so much better. And it almost started getting sickening. Like I almost started getting mad about getting a new job, going to a new company, fixing it, and then the company being bombed. Like I started getting mad. Cause I was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, you just literally are going around just making everybody rich. And I think one of the last straws was I was working with one of my last management positions, and I had saved this company in. If people know about retail and stuff like that, they know what shrink is. So
mhm.
I don't have to go into the detail about shrink, but shrink is basically loss, and profit loss, stealing, whatever you can imagine, numbers, you know, logins, you know, it's all basically a loss. And you know, I had saved this company north of $2.3 million one year. 2.3 million that they would have literally lost,
Yeah.
and probably wouldn't have cared about if they lost anyway. But so what it was is my group, my company, they said, of course, you're going to get a bonus for this, you know what I'm saying? You and your store manager are going to get the bonus for this, you know, such a great job. So I'm like, dope. So I come through, I check my bonus out. So my bonus was, I think like $800, $900. Now, I'm a salary manager. I mean, sorry, the more money you make, people, it's gonna start turning.
Kenneth, I don't know if you can change your location,
So
but you're kind
$800
of
is
breaking
plenty
up.
money for me at that. Because me and my GM was really close. I mean, it makes a lot of money. So me and him was pretty close already. Let me see where we at right now. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay, so yeah, so I hope y'all still can hear me good enough. I'll jump back into where I was at. But basically, you know, we got to the space where we started talking about how much his check was. Y'all, how about his check was $88,000. One check off of some work I had done. So at that point, I was like, yeah, that's the final straw.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you
a no for me.
know, yeah, we got to do something different. And another thing that I know people can sympathize with in the workspace is, you know, when you're really a great employee and you really work hard and there's still a cap, you still can't take care of certain things in your life. There's still bills that are hitting you up. You know, that's really such a depressing, draining feeling when you're such a great employee for a company, you know? And that's just where I was at. You know, I had given everything I could and I still had a ceiling, you know? So that's where that really came from. So the reason I really got into entrepreneurship was because I knew personally I had to be my own savior, especially after COVID came. You know, in COVID, as a manager, people don't know about management in COVID right now, but that is actually one of the worst positions to have right now during COVID, because you sign these management jobs, you know, you're basically telling these folks you can be there as long as the
All
necessity
day,
of the
every day,
job is needed.
when
You know,
somebody else not coming to work.
you got to be there.
Yeah.
And then this the other part, they doing labor budget cuts. So not only are you having to be there all day, you have to do some of the employee positions now. Like, you're not even doing your management work no more like you used to do. Now you're a frontline person, also alone with being there all day.
Right.
So that was one of the ones I just said I couldn't do no more. So yeah, we just got to the space where, like I said, we just had to find out that we had to be our own saviors in this space, and I had to just take my future into my own hands. So that's why I said, I mean, I had the confidence that I could fix so many other companies. I know for a fact I can do it for my own self. So,
Right.
and here we are now.
Well, two things that you said. One, you didn't say it specifically, but over here at the Love Circle, we always talk about being a part of our own rescue. And you said that I needed to show up for myself. I needed to bet on myself 100%. And betting on myself has been something that I've been trying to do a lot more lately. Like, I quit my job in August to focus 100% on Faded Beauty and to be a public speaker. And it's like betting on yourself 110%, realizing that you need to be a part of your own rescue. Nobody else is going to show up for you the way that you're going to show up for you. Nobody is going to pour into you. Nobody is going to say, hey, you got to go to work. Or, hey, you need to fill out this paperwork so you can get whatever you need done. Like, realizing that you have to figure out what's really important to you, and not just saying that things are important to you, but showing yourself what's really important. And I commend you for being a part of your own rescue.
No, I appreciate you acknowledging it, because that's a true thing that we need to express in our community, because people can talk about the fears of what happens if I fail, but
Mm,
people, we don't never harp on the fear, the talks of what about living a poverty lifestyle, or
yeah,
what about living a failure lifestyle the rest of your life, like, and that's just as scary to me as failing, you know.
yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. So, what is one thing that you would like to tell anyone that comes across your story?
Um, I would say be inspired, honestly, because I, if you're in a space like how I was, like, I'm human, so I really didn't believe in myself, you know. I really thought that success and like certain stuff like that only happened for, like, you know, certain people, like, you know, and people that I saw on my Facebook or my Instagram or just in other areas. But I was just like, you know, that could never like be me in that space. Like, that would be almost impossible. So I just want to let them know that, you know, hard work really does pay off, even though it sounds like a super cliche. But the difference in between it is when you're working hard when it's not actually broadcasted, because
Mm,
that's where people's downfalls are usually at. They can show you a hard working person in
right,
when the camera's on, but when you have to make that decision to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, when you got to make that decision to stay 24 hours up at night, you know,
mm,
that's going to be the deciding factor and the difference between you and somebody else trying to do it and you and greatness. So I
right.
would say definitely just really believe in you. I say definitely really harp on mindset. Mindset is everything. Like, everything in my life changed when my mindset changed, literally. You know, so yeah, other than that, I would say, yeah, just work hard and yeah, really focus on mindset along the way.
Dope. Do you have any other closing remarks that you would like to leave with the love circle?
Um, Nothing other than I appreciate y'all having me on. You know, sometimes I'm a worker bee, so even to be in these spaces, sometimes I don't even feel like I'm all the way qualified sometimes. So I appreciate y'all helping me get the message out, you know, and just getting the word out about winging it. Um, Honestly, with winging it, I personally believe in experiences. So you'll never really hear me just harping about the food, because the food really pretty much does its own thing, and you could probably vouch for that.
Yeah,
I feel like my
probably.
space with the food, yeah, definitely. But I feel like my space with the food is just, I want to be that person that shows that, you know, great customer service and experience, you know, is what really matters, you know, in service, especially food service. So yeah, man, definitely. I
You
appreciate
know,
y'all.
something that I've learned in the maybe past 2 years, like for years, everybody has been doing business as a selling point. What do I have to offer? But nobody really talks about how you showing up as a person
Mm.
dictates how you will receive or will be received or how your clients will come to you. Nobody really talks about that. Being a good person really matters.
Yes, I feel like sometimes, you know, I feel like people try winging it and continue to love winging it based off of, you know, my personality and, you know, the vibe that we give off at winging it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a true thing. And, you know, it translates with the food, you know. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
Awesome. So this has been another dope episode of the Love Circle. I want to thank you, Kenneth, for joining us, for sharing a space with us, for exchanging energy and knowledge and love with us. Um, I want y'all to have another awesome, dope day. Kenneth, let me keep you on here for a little moment. I got to get some more information from you. But I love
Oh yeah, no
y'all
pressure.
so
I
much.
ain't going nowhere.
Be dope, be positive, be love and light. I love you.